Welcome to Afro Girl Diaries. If it's your first time here, make sure to hit the subscribe button. If you're a returning subscriber, I know it has been so long since I last uploaded, but it feels so great to be back. I have been busy adulting and I will share great news with you very soon as I can. I do not want to jinx anything, but you just know your girl has been adulting and doing the thing. It's 2022, starting with a bang. So I just thought to do a quick Q&A video today, just because sit-down videos are much easier for me to do. I know I've promised some vlogs and they're still in the works. All the videos are in the archives just waiting to be edited or in the process of being edited. I don't know how vloggers do it, but shout out to you guys. So moving on. Today is an ACCA Q&A video. I've gotten a lot of comments on my previous videos, so I mean, if you're new here, make sure to watch the ACCA playlist. I'll definitely put a link somewhere on the screen. It'll also be in my description box, so make sure to check it out. I have a lot of awesome videos giving you a real and raw and honest account of my ACCA journey, which I recently completed. I completed that last year. And just wanted to address some of your questions, just in case someone else also has a similar question. And, you know, this video can also be the go-to for such a person. So Ranjit has asked, thank you so much. Basically, it starts with a comment. Thank you so much. Love your content. It is so informative. I've recently started my ACCA journey and have been exempted from the knowledge level papers because of my educational background. I think I'm the kind of person who likes being guided and learn from someone. What are the resources you'd recommend for someone like me who is not best at self-studying to prepare for my skill level papers? Will there be a major difference between the ACCA approved learning partner and the ACCA approved online learning partner? I really appreciate your advice. So Ranjit, thank you so much for checking out my content. For those of you who haven't seen any of my previous ACCA videos, I really talk about my self-study journey because that's what set me apart. I studied for my ACCA by literally just buying the study text and the question and answer guide. And just studied by myself, and that's literally what I'm doing for my next qualification. I'm doing my CISA. I'm currently preparing for my CISA, so that's just my preferred way, mainly because it's much cheaper. You get to, I mean, when you don't have to pay for a lecturer then or college, it's definitely much cheaper. The only cost that you have is literally the study material and registering for the exam. So that's my preferred study method, but it's not the only one. It's definitely hard, it requires a lot of commitment, and you can check out those videos and you get to see the in-depth tips that I share, having learned them the hard way. But Ranjit, the truth is, it's good that you've identified that self-study is not the method for you. It's good to just be honest with yourself and know what is your preferred study method, what works for you, because you should do what works for you. So you can just, I would recommend, if college is always the best option, to be honest. I mean, if you've done any tertiary education, there's a reason why they pay for you to go to classroom. I mean, you pay to go for lectures, things like that. So if you can go to college, that would be the best option. But if you are at home, maybe COVID or whatever, due to the pandemic, maybe you're not able to go to a face-to-face session, online, there's so many tuition providers out there who are offering online lectures or even pre-recorded content which you can access at any time, especially if you're working and you can't make those fixed hours, fixed lecture slots or whatever they're called nowadays. You can always access the pre-recorded content. So as long as the tuition provider is ACCA approved, you can use them. That means they cover, in terms of the ACCA syllabus, they cover everything that's required for the exam. So just look for that. Look for someone making sure, basically saying that they are ACCA approved. As long as they are, you can go with them. And I don't think accessing or having access to a tuition provider replaces you needing the study text. You should always get the study text because that's the base. And then you can have any additional sources of learning to support or complement that. So yeah, Ranjit, hopefully that answers your question. But yeah, as long as they are ACCA approved, you can use them. Andrea, you did ask, how is it to get a job after you pass ACCA? Thanks for sharing your info. Please, can you tell me what you do after you complete your course and you think it's easy to get a job, or do you have to become a trainee? All right. Now, ACCA does improve your chances, but it doesn't replace the effort that you need to do to get a job. Now, when you do complete your ACCA, you're not chartered right away. You'd need to complete the practical experience needed, which is usually 36 months, 3 years. I'm currently in that process of getting my experience signed off. So until you're a chartered accountant, you will need to you can't sign up any account, so you probably need to take on a trainee role, or basically a starter role, any new entry position in the accounting finance role that will allow you to get the experience that you need to get chartered. So you are not chartered by just doing exams. You definitely need to get some practical experience. So how easy is it? Honestly, once you get that tag ACCA, it will help in the future. With certifications, they don't have to help you right away. Sometimes think of the future. Like, genuinely for me, the main reason I did my ACCA was because of the future. I want to be a CISO. I want to be in the C-suite. And it's much easier to do that, or rather to justify why you are competent for the position when you can back it up with also the right level of qualifications. So I'm in the technology consulting industry. I don't need to do ACCA, genuinely. I do not. But I do not want to just be seen as a technology person. I want to show that I have an understanding of the business. I have an understanding of the finances aspect as well. I basically have that holistic view of the business. So for me, it was more of a future big picture thing than it will help me right now. Because right now I don't need it for my role, but I know I'll need it in the future. So it really does depend, but it does help you negotiate for a better salary. It does improve your chances, and Lord knows you need all the chances you can get when you're trying to get a job. So yeah, get that trainee role, get that experience, and your prospects will really improve as soon as you get that tag. Mimi, you've asked, hey Afro Girl, this made me jump. I'm a new subscriber and love your channel. Thanks, Mimi. Let's add on those subscribers. By the way, if you are watching this and you have not subscribed, I will take a pause. I'm copying other YouTubers the way they do. I mean, why not? I'll take a pause now. Can you please click that subscribe button? Please hit that notification bell so that you get to know when I upload new content. I'll assume you've done that now. So moving on. I last wrote my F8 audit and F6 tax over 7 years ago. I'm just worried because of the 7-year rule I just heard about. Can I sit for the remaining papers under applied skills level without being made to rewrite my audit and tax? Mimi, unfortunately, the best place to confirm that is on the website. I would suggest that you renew your membership, basically pay the annual membership, rejoin as a student. Rejoin as a student and see what they say when you try to sign up for an exam. So of course, because I'm self-study, I sign up for the exams myself. So when you go to register on the portal, you will be able to see if you are allowed to continue. But there is no way around it. You do have to reach out to ACCA for this, or at least try and renew your membership and see what the portal says when you go to check your profile. What does it say? All right, and you will also see your transcript. You'll be able to see if they're valid or not on the portal. So the MyACCA portal has everything that you need. It's a self-service. You set up your account as soon as you have your membership. As long as you have a valid membership, you can set up your MyACCA account. All right, Temia asks, can we do the 4 papers or is it just 2? I'm assuming you're talking about how many papers you can do in a session. So maximum number of papers you can do are 4. If you are a full-time student, I mean, go ahead, go with the maximum. But if you are juggling, which is majority of the time, it's usually someone who's juggling maybe work or like you have other commitments, you're not just fully doing ACCA, you probably want to take on the number of papers that you can manage. When you're starting off, they are much easier. So you can actually, I would recommend not doing less than 2 when you're starting off. Otherwise, you'll take forever to do ACCA. But you know your circumstances, take on only the papers that you can deal with. But the maximum number of papers you can take per session is 4 exams. And they're usually 4 sessions in a year. I believe there's still a cap on the, you can't take 4. There is still a cap on how many in total you can take in 1 year. But in one exam session, you definitely can take 4. So go for it. Go for it. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? Failing the exam, and then you can just resit. It's not the end of the world, trust me. And as long as you're moving, it's progression over perfection. Check out my videos. You'll see where I talk about this in more detail. All right, I have so many questions to go through, but I will take Monique's as my last one, just because these Q&As are not coming to an end. I'm happy to be doing this once every month. So keep the comments coming. If you have questions, put them in the comment section, and I will make sure to pick them up in one of my future videos. So Monique asks, thank you for the video. I just want to confirm, for exemption of the PER, did you just have to get the 3-page approved employer PER summary form signed off? You do not have to enter the 200 words breakdown online. Now, PER is practical experience requirement. As I'd mentioned earlier when I was addressing Andrea's question, doing exam is not enough to become a full member. You do need to complete an ethics module, and you also need to get your experience signed off. That's 6 months worth of experience. Now, if you are working for an approved employer, an ACCA approved employer, you can find a list of employers on the ACCA website. You can check to see if your employer is listed there. Now, if they do have, it's platinum, I think they have platinum, gold, they have different levels of approved employer, ACCA approved employers. So depending on which employer you work for, like my employer is on that list, you can apply for exemption. However, your employer has to actually approve for you to use their exemption route. Sometimes they are on that list, but they want all their employees to still have to get their experience individually signed off. You have to log everything that's relevant to the objectives, the practical objectives. So they're usually, you need to do 5 essential objectives. Are they called objectives? There's a name for it. I'm trying to remember. I'll put it somewhere here, but I remember the name. But basically, those you need to do 5 essential. You need to get those signed off, and 4 technical. So depending on what you choose, essential are mandatory, and then the technical you choose based on what you want to specialize in. But basically, if your employer is on that list and they're happy for you to use the exemption route, you don't have to log every activity. All you need is to get another chartered accountant and your supervisor. So if your supervisor is a chartered accountant, well and good. You just need their signature to sign off that they believe, or rather they've seen evidence, it should be based off evidence, that you have covered, or rather you've worked and have that exposure and experience in the relevant activities that help you achieve that objective. I hope that makes sense. So it's a form, it's just a 3-page form. It just has a list. So the first form is your personal details. Second form is about like your supervisor. So the third one is where you have the breakdown. And basically on there, it just has the list of the different objectives, and you sign off against the ones that you've completed. So your supervisor is the one who signs it off. So the only difference is that you haven't had to break down and prove to ACCA that you have the experience for it. They take your supervisor's word for it. Of course, it should be based off evidence. It's for your own good that you actually get the experience. So do not abuse this route. But this is the route I'm taking. So I've been logging still. I have to prove to my supervisor, but it's just less paperwork for ACCA. So you just, as long as your supervisor is happy that you have achieved that objective, they sign it off and they send that to ACCA. All right, that's it for today. Thanks for joining. And yes, the videos we're now back to regular schedule. I have great news that I will share with you this year. Do not worry, you will understand where I have been. But I wish you a very, very lovely weekend and looking forward to more videos. Cheers, bye.